Hello and welcome to the Futurist 3D video training series. My name is Jeff Christiana and this is video number 6 of the Skeinforge 47 video series on how to use Clip. Now Clip I have activated and we're going to go through and discuss each one here. Clip over perimeter width. As you can see, we got ours set to a 0.3. So in these examples here, basically the clip over perimeter width defines a ratio of the amount each end of the loop is clipped over the perimeter width. The total gap therefore will be twice the clip. If the ratio is too high, loops will have a gap. If the ratio is too low, there will be a bulge at the loop ends. This setting will affect the output of the clip and the output of the skin. In skin, the half width perimeters will be clipped by according to the setting. Now we've got ours set to 0.3, and I don't think we've ever really run into a need to change this. So you can look at your example here. Both of these look exactly the same. Everything looks exactly the same, except when you get down here on the outside, you've got yourself a gap here. So the time it starts, it goes around the object, comes around, and comes back, and then starts going into your actual build. It leaves this little gap here. So that is when you have a perimeter width of 1, you have this little gap right here. So if you do clip over perimeter width of 0.01, it brings it right next to each other. So you don't want it to be too overlapping, or you'll start to get exactly a bulge when this does. If you want a nice clean outside every time it goes around, you want that to not overlap as much, but you want it to close. You don't want to leave a hole there. So I find that the 0.3 is a good setting, and if you start to see something, this is where you would make that change. So the next one, maximum connection distance over perimeter width. Now this one here was very important. I was printing out a bowl, printing out a cup, printing out whatever, and you can see that when it makes a circle and closes, it started to leave a little gap. So basically this clip will attempt to connect loops that end close to each other. So setting this to a ratio of 10, this actually will close the loop so you don't have a gap there. So when the extruder goes around in a circle on this one here, if this was turned off, it would stop and then it would come back this direction. So what this does is it's going to come around, you're going to start your print, you're going to come around, and then it's going to zip to the inside and then continue to go around in that path. So instead of just coming around, stopping, and then starting, going around and leaving this gap, this actually will close the gap. So I find that the setting of 10 and definitely leaving this activated works very well. The only problem with this, if this number is too high, you may get things connected that you don't want connected. So you don't want to get too high with this number, and you don't want to get too low. There's got to be a happy medium there, and around 10 seems to work out. Now over here on these other pictures here, this is a zoom of what you see up above. I should have talked about this earlier, but you see the same thing on the inside. You see here that you've got it to where it's closing, and this is also closing, where over here, if your perimeter width is too high, you've got a big gap right here. So anywhere where your loops connect, you'll have that gap. So these settings work pretty good. Feel free to experiment with them, but always remember what the original settings were so you can go back and make changes in case your object just doesn't look right anymore. So activating clip is a good thing, and we will see you in the next video.